Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of this wooden drift boat build. Thanks so much for stopping by. In this episode, we're going to finish the side pieces and get them mounted to the frame. I'm super excited because once these panels are mounted to the frame, it's really going to look like a boat. So let's get started. Before I mount the side panels to the frame, I want to try again to hide the scarf joint seam. And for this side, I thought it'd look nice to veneer a couple of strips of mahogany diagonally across that seam. So following the directions, I applied contact cement to the veneer and plywood and let them dry for about 15 to 20 minutes before trying to bond them together. Because veneer is so thin, it gets soft and gets wavy when wetted from glues, and it would have been very difficult to apply either a glue or an epoxy and get that veneer aligned perfectly and then apply enough pressure over that large surface area and get all the waves and wrinkles out and keep it dead flat. So I went with contact cement because I can get that instantaneous bond when you put the two pieces together and then roll out all those wrinkles and waves. And contact cement is waterproof, so I'm not worried about that. Plus, I'll be putting a fiberglass sheath all over the hull and epoxying that together to completely lock it down. Next, I'm going to dry fit the side panel to the frame to make sure everything fits and that the veneer stays in place. Well, everyone, I had a serious disaster when I stretched the plywood onto the frame with that veneer on there. About 2 hours later, the seam of the veneer split apart. The contact cement didn't hold and started to create some bubbles underneath where it lost its adhesion. I don't know if it was me not prepping it right or what, or if it's just the contact cement wasn't the right choice for that. So it was a huge mess. I had to pull them off, and then I had all that contact cement, so I had to scrub it off with mineral spirits, and it left a stain there that was a different color from the wood. I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go with the scarf joint seam. But the next problem was that there was that stain there and I had to sand it away. And I didn't show this in previous videos, but what I did when I first got these sheets is I left them out in the sun for a couple days, which darkened them up a couple shades and gave them a richer tone rather than the raw akume, which is kind of here on the underside still. This has been out in the sun all day, so it has darkened a little bit, but the raw fresh okumi is much lighter and it's got a pinkish hue to it, and I wanted to give it a dark, a little bit of a darker, richer color. So now I had this like fresh wood, which is much lighter, that I had sanded, and then the rest of the wood was, toned from the sun. Then I decided to leave it out in the sun and hope that it would blend back together. Luckily, it did for the most part. So I'm gonna just go for right now with just that scarf joint seam. When I get it all put together later and I pull the whole boat out, I might end up doing some painting or something like that. But what we're gonna do now is attach these sides. I kind of salvaged it. I didn't film a lot of that process because I was really kind of ticked off. We got back to square one, and now I'm ready to try to attach these to the frame members. And what I've decided to do after a lot of head scratching as well is I'm just going to completely soak the inside with penetrating epoxy and the frame members with penetrating epoxy. Let them get nice and wet so that when I add my lines of Fixio thickened epoxy to the frame members, and then when I clamp the side member on, that Fixio won't be starved and it'll be able to fill any gaps that I didn't get perfectly with my fairing process. And then I will pre-drill, once it's nice and clamped into place on every frame member, I'll pre-drill the holes and nail it into place. Now, I got some questions on a previous video, why am I using those ring shank nails rather than screws? Well, in all fairness, they hold pretty much as good as a screw does. They hold like the dickens. I'm also using epoxy for the joints too, to strengthen them and to seal them so that no water gets between that wood and causes rot. So they're going to be extremely strong with the nails, and I think the nails look a little bit better rather than having much bigger holes from that countersinking of a big nail and that Phillips head. I didn't think it would look as nice as those nice clean bronze nails, which are hand stamped heads, so they're a little irregular and it just kind of looks nice. So that's what we're gonna try. Let's hope we don't have any more disasters. I'm using penetrating epoxy from Total Boat, and basically what it is a very thin and viscous epoxy. And because it's thinner, it allows it to penetrate deeper into the wood, and a lot of times you can use it to stabilize wood or repair rotted, softer woods. For me, it's serving two purposes here. One, it's going to soak deep into that layer and give me a waterproof barrier on the inside of the boat, and I'll accomplish that later on when I fiberglass on the outside of the boat. And it's also going to wet my joints so that when I apply my thickened structural epoxy, they won't get starved and I'll get good adhesion. Total Boat has been a big partner in this boat build, and I really appreciate their support. They've also given me a 20% coupon for all of you, so if you go to Total Boat's website and use the coupon code THIRDCOAST, you'll get 20% off all their epoxy products plus free shipping. And I use epoxy for a lot more than just boat building. I use it in my woodworking all the time. It has awesome gap filling properties for all my mortise and tenon joinery, and it has a much longer open time for those complicated glue ups, and you don't have to rush against the clock like you do wood glue. So go down in the description, check out their website, and get that 20% off. So to glue the panels to the frame, I'm going to be using thickened epoxy, and Total Boat makes tubes that are also pre-colored to match the wood called Thixo. This thickened epoxy is sometimes called peanut butter by boat builders, and it's very thick and won't run or sag. When I clamp the plywood to the frame, that thickened epoxy will squeeze out and fill any gaps. It's also used to build up and strengthen joints and junctions between wood with a process called filleting, which I'll be doing later on in future videos. If you do any welding, it's the same exact concept as a fillet weld between two adjacent pieces of metal. The cool thing about these tubes is that they come with tips that mix the two parts together as you apply the epoxy, or you can make your own peanut butter by using just a regular high performance epoxy and adding some fine sawdust of the right color and then silicone thickening agent. I'm working from front to back and only added thickened epoxy to the first half of the boat. Once I get that section nailed down, I'll then add the rest of the thickened epoxy to the rear of the boat and then nail that part down. So I want to finish this boat in what's called bright, which means the exterior is not painted but shows the natural wood. It's very beautiful, but significantly more challenging keeping the wood pristine enough to do this, and then it's much more difficult and time consuming finishing and varnishing a boat bright. So even though I had epoxy that has a nice slow open time, I was still racing against the clock because I had so many nails I needed to nail down, but I still really needed to take my time so I didn't miss a nail and dent the wood or bend one over, which would really stick out like a sore thumb on a boat that's finished in that bright finish. On the second half, I was having a harder time getting the caulk gun and Thixo tube where I needed to, so I just squeezed some of that wood-colored Thixo into a mixing bucket, and then I added more high-performance epoxy and silicone to make my batch. By mixing it this way, I was actually able to make a larger batch of that wood-colored peanut butter without having to mess around with finding or saving sawdust. I will say the one downside to nails compared to screws is that the screws would have been able to pull the plywood to the frame members on their own without me having to mess with clamps in order to nail that panel to the frame. But I'm still happy I went with the nails. I think since I'm finishing this boat bright, they're more subtle and they'll look a lot better than screws will. Now, if I was planning on painting the sides of the boat, I definitely would have went with screws. Then you epoxy over top of the screws, sand everything flush, you never know they're there, and they hold really, really well. Man, oh man, that was stressful, but I got the side on there. Took a lot longer than I thought, thank God. Epoxy takes a while to cure, but it's on there. I got good glue adhesion and looks good for the most part. Now what I'm gonna do is trim off these edges. I'm gonna try to start by using this jigsaw, run it along there at an angle and try to trim that off, and then probably take a couple passes with the power planer. I might end up just having to use that right from the get-go if this doesn't work, and then I'll finally finish with a regular hand plane. But I think it turned out pretty good. It was tough, not an easy task, definitely something that would have been nice to have two people, but we did it. And here's kind of how I stretch out that wood color Thixo a little bit. I just mix some of it with that high performance epoxy and some silica thickener and still maintain that wood color without messing with sawdust. You can also adjust the thickness of your peanut butter mixture by simply adding more or less of that silica thickener. If you don't use something like the wood colored Thixo or some sawdust to make your peanut butter will be a creamy milk color. So in areas where your fillet welds or anything that's going to be visible, you'll want it to have that wood color so that it looks a little bit nicer than what that milky filleting or milky thickened epoxy will look like. And then I just repeat everything on the other side, and even though I was still battling the clock, everything seemed to go nice and smooth and I had a little less stress doing it that second time. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. This was a really big step and I'm super happy to have the sides on this boat on. It's really starting to come together. And if you're new to this channel and you haven't already, please consider subscribing and also click that bell icon so that you'll get notifications for future videos of this boat build and my other woodworking projects. And thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.